This is Sheppey FM.
Sheppey Unsigned, live and stripped down, only on Sheppey FM. Your station, your music, your island. Okay, so it's 24 minutes to 11 and we have guests in the studio. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
My name's Pick.
I'm Bliss. I'm Graham.
And you are?
Buearu Chain.
Okay, so you're going to play a song for us first. What song are we playing?
This song's one of our own songs. It's called Cockney Girl.
Any reason why? What it's about?
Oh, that's your fault, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's daily trip to the smug, basically.
Okay.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Long time ago. You
When I
sound
used
really
to work
old.
in London.
Alright, let's give it a go.
My emotions for sale. You got
So there you go. That was quite good, actually.
Thank you.
Is it one of your favourite ones? Is that why you handed that one over?
The only one so far.
Well, the only one we finished is the band's actually been going on and off. We've all known each other since school, so nearly 40 years.
I was going to say, I saw on Facebook it's been a long time, and that's the only song you've got.
No. But every time we've had it, because we've sort of been together, then we've sort of not so much split up. We've either divided up or we've done something else. But every time we got back together, that's been the song that we've recorded first. So it's been sort of recorded a few times. It's sort of like our incarnation song.
So how many versions of that song is there?
Oh, probably dozens.
Well, depends on if you count how many mixdowns I did of that particular.
Probably about 4 or 5 different versions over the years.
Have you still got all the versions?
Probably somewhere, I expect, yeah.
You would have, Les, definitely.
Yeah. On cassette, probably, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with cassette. You were saying this earlier as well. There is nothing wrong with the cassette.
No.
Well,
Getting your pencil, winding it back.
can't buy them anymore, though.
You can, actually. Some bands still release on cassette.
Really?
Yeah. I've actually bought a couple in the last few weeks. Nothing to play it on, but I've got these cassettes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's sort of really just that was always been the song, sort of like, I don't know how you describe it.
Our go-to song, I think.
Yeah, our go-to song, we've gone to that one for... I mean, we've started recording lots of others, but that was the first one that we've sort of half finished, really.
More attempts to get it right.
Yeah.
Do you think you've got it right, or do you have to...
Hopefully, it's the best version so far.
We need outside input for that, really.
Just put them all on one disc and then listen to them back to back and see what one you all prefer.
An album with one
Just
song.
one song, yeah.
No one else has done it.
Maybe that's
Well, all I can say is that Graham is now my hero because he's made me sound like Mick Ronson. Okay, and Mick Ronson is my hero.
That's Bowie's ex-guitarist.
For the other show.
For those who don't.
For the people that didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting all tongue-tied.
Has the band lineup changed since, or has it always been you three?
When we very first started, there was another young chap in the band at the time, Steve, the guitarist.
Steve.
Who was with us in the first incarnation, and he doesn't play guitar anymore. I think he hurt his finger.
Forgotten?
No,
or?
he should say to his finger to actually stop him without play. And so, we've had other incarnations where we was actually all about blondes, wasn't we, for a few years, where we had a slightly different lineup with a keyboard player and a female singer as well. And then we've all done different things together in different bands over the years, and then sort of every now and again we sort of drift back together again, sort of thing. So we thought, actually, we were saying today, it would be nice, perhaps to get a keyboard player in, because you can hear there's keyboards on this, which we do ourselves, but then we think, well, actually, the fact that we've known each other so long, we're like a little family.
You don't want to get anyone new in.
If you actually had someone else come in, it'd be quite difficult for them, really, to actually sort of fit in with our mentality.
You can just get a session one for when you play live.
Yeah.
But you can play live with us, but you're not in the band.
Yeah, you would have to pay them money. That means there'd be less kebab money.
Yeah.
Kebab money. Is that where it all goes?
Not my best.
How do you think the music industry's changed since you started out? Has it got better or worse, do you think?
Drastically. There's more. It favours live more, I think, than it did then.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of, I don't know, the idea of going to see a band is more popular than, it was almost kind of au fait then, when it's kind of an old hat.
But so many venues are closing down.
Yeah, I mean, I think from like if you go to the small side of things, like the pubs, there's much more sort of live music in pubs than ever there was. I mean, when we first started back in 1970, 78, I think it was.
76, according to your Facebook.
Oh yeah, perhaps probably.
I do my research. It's okay.
In Sittingbourne at the time, there was, I think, one pub that had bands on occasionally, and that was us. That was the only band that they had on. And then you had on the island, from recollection at the time, you had the Queen Philippa. I'm not saying there wasn't any others at the time. That's the only one I can remember we played in at the time. And Maidstone, it was like the Royal Albion, and there was. Yeah. Okay, there was one or two others, but it was very few. Whereas you look now at all the towns, Sittingbourne's got 4 or 5, the island's got 4 or 5 venues that are playing music. So for for bands there is perhaps a lot more places to play. I think as far as original music's concerned, that's a different sort of thing because not many pubs really want original stuff.
No, they want people that's going to get people through the door, don't they?
I mean, that's when we first started. We were doing 90% of our own stuff, and most of the pubs say, "Oh yeah, you're fantastic, but you've got to play more covers." We don't want to play more covers. We want to play our own songs, but you sort of end up having to strike a balance to get some gigs. Otherwise, if you just choose to just do your own stuff, you're going to struggle to get a bit of a following, and secondly, as I say, get venues that want to put you on.
So, what would you say the perfect balance was?
I think hopefully, unfortunately, it's got to be about 70% covers, and perhaps you can get away with 30% of your
sneak them in.
Till they know you, really.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. People want to hear. People want to hear stuff they know. If they know your stuff, that's great. But until they know it,
and we've always been. This band is sort of, for want of a better word, is like a power pop sort of band. We've always wanted to do stuff that's sort of quite catchy. So therefore, hopefully, it's stuff that people can latch onto relatively easily.
What's the worst, like the most cheesy song you've ever covered?
Cheesy song.
It's got to be the Monster Mash.
Yes.
Oh.
Which is currently in our set.
It was supposed to be just for Halloween, but
we just enjoyed playing it so much, and we thought we're going to carry
it
on.
stays in there all year round.
Yes,
Well,
it's going to stay.
People seem to like it as well, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a good song, and everyone knows it. Like you said,
yeah.
everyone will sing along to it.
Yeah, the current sort of set, what we've done is we've sort of got a few new ones of our own at the moment. We've got more than a few new ones of our own, but that's all we put in the set. A few of the older songs that we wrote a long time ago, and then tried to do covers that sort of are well-known songs, but hopefully not songs that every pub band does, sort of thing. Or not the way we're doing them anyway.
So no My Old Man's a Dustman then?
No.
Didn't think of that, actually.
But what we did, we made a sort of a bit of a Rob Fry back because we've tried to just do American rock.
Okay.
So the part from our token David Bowie song, because we had to do that.
I have to ask, what one?
Ziggy Stardust.
Fair enough.
We're going to play a bit later on anyway. But we was trying to think of something different rather than just go through all the sort of pub rock songs. We I sort of said, well, let's just do American stuff and do it in our own way.
So now I want to do such and such a song. Is he American?
Yeah. But we had a little bit of a struggle over a Neil Young song when we discovered actually he's not American, he's Canadian. So, but we sort of.
Oh, that barrier!
The thing is it is American rock, but we do play it, I think, in a British way.
Britpop way.
Britpop way, yeah.
So you got your own twist there.
Yes,
I think
yeah.
so,
Never cheat.
What about the originals? How do you work that in? Because obviously you're not American,
No,
unless you are.
I mean, hopefully they sort of fit in again because they're not sort of they're not aimed at being American style rock or anything. They're basically.
I don't think we care, do we? Just do it.
Yeah, we just do it. Yeah. We haven't really consciously thought about
there's
that.
there's nobody's holding a gun to our heads about the American thing. It's just
it's just us.
It's just us, actually,
Yeah, we had a bit of a debate about doing Ziggy Stardust, didn't we?
Well, we did it as a Bowie tribute because he died.
Yeah. Did he?
But
the thing is, it does link well because we used to do that way back in the late 70s.
To be fair, Bowie died recently. Ziggy Stardust died a long time ago.
Not in my mind.
He lives on.
Yeah, I think when we started, you see, we was almost, like I've said before, we was almost probably one of the first tribute bands back in the 70s because when we was learning, once we left school, learning all the Bowie songs was really what we wanted to do. So we actually ended up doing in our set, apart from our own songs, about 7 or 8 David Bowie songs. So there was quite a big David Bowie influence then. So we thought we can't really carry on doing it without doing a David Bowie song.
Rebel just went on for about half an hour, didn't it? What with drum solo?
Hang on to yourself.
Yeah.
So what's your inspiration now for like your original lyrics? Because obviously it's probably changed since you first started.
Yeah, I think we're
You're no longer schoolboys for starters.
No, but we still like the same bands though. I mean, one of the bands that got us all going then was a band called Bebop Deluxe. who only really ever had one massive hit. Had lots of good albums, fantastic guitar playing. I think what we all liked about him was the melody of it, and I think that's one thing that we always liked, is the fact that all the songs we do, we think that they've all got a melody and a good sort of catchy sort of chorus.
So would you say you value melody over lyrics?
No.
Oh, it's a balance, isn't it? Really?
It's a balance,
yeah.
I think that's fair enough, actually.
Yeah, it's always good to have a proper story in the song, rather than just sort of
Depends, 'cause, I
randomness.
mean, it depends on how it starts off. A song can start from a good lyric,
Yeah.
or it can start from a good idea musically, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's no rules. There's no kind of sit down. This is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I think
Plot, is it?
songwriting is a sort of a personal thing, isn't it? It's sort of what works for you, and how, if a song comes together.
Yeah.
However, it's there's no set rules, I don't think.
Do you ever have any creative differences when it comes to songwriting?
Not yet.
No.
Oh dear.
No, I mean, years ago, Les used to do you used to do most of the lyrics.
Well, when we started, I was doing the music and Graham was doing the lyrics.
Yeah, that was a bit of a worry.
Well, no, because I now look back at those lyrics and think you've got a lot of stick then, actually. They're quite
Mad.
basically. I
Unhinged.
like that. That's excellent.
All my D's turned to
And then
P's.
Pick started writing.
Yeah. So it's been a bit sort of a bit across all of us, really.
Have you ever looked back at some of the old stuff that you first started out with and thought, actually, we could probably rework that?
We still do.
Just did.
Other than that one song.
There's a couple. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's probably we've probably picked a few from our various incarnations, haven't we?
Yeah.
The way
It's
the
a
world
shame.
is.
I mean, hopefully, now we've got the opportunity to actually sort of record them, probably the best we can ever record them. We're going to do a sort of complete album of majority of our own stuff, but with sort of a few cover versions in there as well. But so hopefully before the end of this year, we'll have something that's sort of a bit of a what would you call it? I can't think.
Got to get it all in quick before we retire, haven't we?
Yeah. A bit of a sort of I can't think of the right word. An archive of all our songs that we've done over the years, really.
So is that going to be a full-length album? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. As I say, these two that we've got, that we've given you on the disc tonight. One of those obviously is nearly finished. The other one, we've still got some work to do in it. We've done the backing tracks for quite a few other songs as well. We just haven't got round to finishing them off because
doing it in our own sweet time.
Yeah.
Taking your time with it.
Yeah, because we don't actually have to pay for doing it, because we've got our own way of doing it. But it therefore means you tend to only do it when you've got the time. When you actually have to pay for it, you have to sort of focus a bit.
Yeah, you have to force the inspiration out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're taking your own time, you can mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah, so it's quite an enjoyable process. And as I say, we've been doing this for 40 years. There's no point in rushing now.
Have you given yourselves a timetable
I
to do
always
it
keep
in,
the
or?
timetables.
It's usually when he's books he'll book an album launch at some venue somewhere. Oh, crap.
Yeah, the last time when we was
done.
here before, it was with another band, Primitive Instinct, and I'd sort of decided we was going to have this album released by a certain date, so we booked the venue, everything to do the launch. So we sort of we did have to focus the mind a little bit to get that one done, but we did get it done.
What kind of format would you release on?
It would be brilliant to actually, if you thought you could sell enough of them, it would be great to do. Actually, do a vinyl.
Stop with the cassette.
It would be brilliant to actually do a vinyl version of it.
A lot of people still, I've noticed as well, more and more people are getting back into vinyl.
Yeah.
See, I think I'm not necessarily into it because of the quality or anything like that, but I go back to the fact that part of me when I first started getting into music wasn't just about listening to the music.
It's holding
was
it
that
and
album
looking at
cover.
it, yeah.
It was sitting in your bedroom all evening, reading every lyric on it, and trying to decipher the little images that were in the corner, what significance they had to the album.
We'll have an album cover with a USB stick in them.
I mean, and that's the thing. The industry sort of that's when you're saying about how's the industry changed, in the fact that was a whole part of it. Wasn't just about listening to it. You had this visual thing in your head that you had to make up. Then when it went to CDs, you got this little tiny booklet that you couldn't read quite so easily, and it didn't have so many nice images in it. And then all of a sudden, you just downloaded it from the internet.
And you don't even have to have the full album anymore.
No, you don't even necessarily know what the person looks like or what the album covers like. It's just a
PDF booklet.
From that's a bit of a shame, really, because it was a whole sort of imagery, you know. And,
it's changed from my day.
But what about like the new bands obviously coming up? Do you think downloading does help, or do you think it should still go back to the tough ways where you had to get out there?
It makes it easier to sell individual songs, obviously, rather than having to buy a whole album. So that can't be good necessarily for the bands, because if you don't need to buy the whole album and you're just going to buy one song, you don't necessarily get to see what they completely do. But,
well, isn't that the same as going down to the shop in like 1974 and buying a single?
Yeah, I suppose so.
But you haven't actually got to go out of your house. I don't know whether it's helped or hindered the piracy.
But what about websites like Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's a good way of getting for perhaps unsigned people to actually get their music, get it out there. But the piracy is phenomenal, really. I don't mean to go back to the other band I am in, Primitive Instinct, that we released an album. We're only a little band. I mean, we sold a few thousand CDs, but we put it up onto one of the streaming sites, and within a few weeks, it was on a dozen streaming sites, and people could just download it for nothing. So yeah, it's great for the fans. It's not great for the bands that are putting the music up there.
No, because it means a lot of the bands now are still having to do day jobs.
Yeah.
To bring in the money to be able to record the music that people are downloading for free.
Yeah. But I think sometimes if you're lucky enough to have the breaks like some of obviously the big bands do, but you can do it for the money. But we wouldn't, if we'd gone into music because we wanted to earn lots of money at it, we'd have probably stopped on day 2, because you're not going to do it. You know, it's unless you're the lucky one that gets the break and gets the recording contract. If you're just doing this for money, then you shouldn't be doing it. I don't think.
There's just so many people that want to make it, and it's just like such a limited. I mean, that's, in a lot of ways, maybe it is easier because it's easier to get your material heard to maybe a wider public because of internet.
Yeah, it's true.
In a way, and even like, if your material's on dozens of streaming sites, then financially not so good from that aspect. But it's getting your face around, not necessarily your face, but your material around. Maybe they want to see you on the strength of that, but then if they're in Russia, they're not going to go over.
So having been in the music industry for a long time, what advice would you give to, I don't know, a band starting up?
Go to banking?
No, I think if you want to do all your own, do your own songs and you want to make it, then you've got to really stick to your guns, because it's very easy for people to sort of not force you to do, because you don't have to do anything, but to actually sort of get you to do what you don't want to do. And if you really believe in the sort of material that you're playing, then stick to it and just do that.
I think you've got to just really want to do it.
You've got to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you've got to get some enjoyment out of it.
There's no point playing stuff that you don't want to play.
Yeah. You've got to have passion. It's got to be passionate, whatever you do. I mean, if you're just doing the moves, I can't see there's no enjoyment.
In a lot of ways, that's never changed, is it? Because even back in the day, it doesn't matter how it could become so hard, just because you're looking for this goal that you're not necessarily, you may or may not, but probably won't reach, and it can be soul destroying from my experience. If you're just, if you can get as much out of it for your own heart as you can, it's gonna, at least you're gonna look back at it when you're our age fondly.
Do you want to play another song, because we must be waffling on for hours here? And we can waffle.
Did you want to play an acoustic one, or do you want me to play the other one you've given me on disc?
Should we do an acoustic one?
Yeah?
I might need a swig of water before this.
What are we doing?
Excuse me, coughing straight into the microphone.
Have you only just recently learnt these acoustically, or you?
No, well, because, like I said earlier, the songs that we're doing don't necessarily lend themselves that well to do. Not saying don't lend themselves to doing acoustically. That's not how we're doing them live. So we've sort of reworked them a little bit. So yes, we've only learned
What he
acoustically
basically
today.
what he basically means is I can't get any feedback out of this.
You could try. It might not work. You might break your guitar.
One of the songs.
I'm good at that, breaking guitar.
I thought when we were sort of thinking about the songs to do tonight, we thought rather than just sort of randomly pick sort of like 4 or 5 songs, the Cockney Girl, like we said, that's one of the reasons we finished that was first because it's that our go-to song every time we start. The other one on there is well, I'll speak to that about later. That it was trying to think of songs that actually there was a reason for playing them rather than just sort of randomly doing it. And when we was looking for songs to do in the new incarnation of Buearu Change, it was trying to find sort of songs that weren't necessarily obscure songs, but not necessarily as well known. So one we're going to do now is it's actually a Bob Dylan song that was recorded by the band. And what I liked about it, the band's version on The Last Waltz is fantastic. It's quite powerful but quite light and airy, and the lyrics in the song are actually about someone that's sort of been falsely imprisoned, but don't seem to have any anger to it. So when we're doing it live now, we've made it quite, I don't mean it's fast and furious, but we've just made it a bit more angry. But we're going to do it a bit more like the original tonight.
I don't know, maybe you should try and get the anger out on acoustic. It'll be a challenge for you.
Well, we'll give it a go. This one is called I Shall Be Released.
This is the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Right, so whenever you're ready.
When you're ready. Everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. Every man needs protection. They say that every man must fall. Yeah, I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above this wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. Now yonder stands a man in this lonely crowd, a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting out so loud, just crying out that he was framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, oh, any day now, I shall be released.
Little tippity tap at the end. Fantastic. I really felt the anger in that tippity tap as well.
I'm normally worn out by the end of that song.
How you doing? You alright?
Yes.
Prefer it acoustically? You're not so worn out
That's
now?
nice, actually. It's nice doing it that way. Yeah.
So I have to ask. We have to ask about the band name.
Right.
Are you obsessed with banks?
We're a bunch of bankers, actually.
Something close to that.
No, everybody said, why did you go for that name? And I don't actually really know why.
I think it's your fault.
Yeah, it's probably
Partly
Leslie's
your
fault.
fault, partly my fault.
Probably his day trip to London, actually. Keep going
I think
past him.
actually that's probably true because going up on the train to London and walking through Cannon Street and out into the city.
Oh, they're at every
That's
street
what it
corner.
Probably, yeah. Well, I think part of the problem is that you said you liked it and I didn't know what it meant. And I said, yeah, it's great.
How can you not know what it meant?
I was only 15 or something.
The other thing is what I like about it, I don't like band names that have the in front of them. So it's nice to have a name that doesn't actually need a the in front.
Yeah, there's plenty of band names out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You went for one that makes you literally sound like you're obsessed with banks.
Maybe people invest in us then.
Money.
Invest in our retirement plan.
It's going to be a long time before we retire, isn't it?
I think I'll ever retire.
You're never going to retire.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to.
I have retired actually.
Oh. Lucky you.
Yeah, I was lucky that who I worked for in the 70s and the 80s actually.
Up in the smoke.
So obviously you've got a gig coming up.
Yes, we're over on the island for our first little venture onto the island for many years at the old house at home on Sunday afternoon. So if people want to come along and help their Sunday lunch go down.
How are you doing the set? Because obviously the pubs are slightly different. You can't just bang them out. Do you have a break in between and do like two half sets?
Yeah, sort of an hour and a quarter each set.
Do you think that works better in the pub environment?
I think it depends what sort of pub. Sometimes yes and sometimes no, really.
So I think we've over because we were rehearsing for a year or so, and we yeah, but I mean we were all worried about not having enough material, and we kind of overcooked it a bit now because suddenly we've seen right, we're having a quick break of 20 minutes, and then it seems like a blink, and we're back on.
Yeah, I think some venues it works better if you do a full set all the way through, but I think it gives time, especially if you're new to a venue, having an hour, people can have a break, have a bit of a chat, talk, and you can, and also if you've got any issues with your sound or stuff like that, it gives you a chance to put things right.
Fix it up
for the second set and have a few pints as well.
So the second set's a bit more.
Yes, yeah.
A bit more slurred.
Juicy.
Yeah, we did. I don't think we ever played at the old house, did we? As our incarnation.
Never been there.
No, I played there. I played there a few
I've
times
seen
with Drink a few years back.
Yeah, I saw you there,
It's right. It's right by the sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
By the seaside.
Yeah, nice little venue. Nice little venue.
I'll just say when I look at it. Yeah.
Do you have any other gigs other than that one?
Yeah, we've got. We've sort of fallen over ourselves with gigs. All of a sudden, we've had people ringing us up for gigs, which has been
March or something silly.
been nice. So at the moment for the year, we've got in total about 20 or so already booked for the year. Which, considering we haven't necessarily been trying that hard to get them, has been good. We've got some locally in Sittingbourne, which would be nice to actually having a hometown gig for the first time sort of in 20 odd years. We're playing
Get home and tucked up in bed nice and early.
Spend for yourself on that one.
Yeah, well, we're getting the kebab shop a bit earlier anyway. Yeah, we're playing at the Fountain in April, so some of our hometown fans hopefully will be able to come and see us then. Yeah.
But I mean, we were originally based in Sittingbourne, weren't we? But I've got links to the island because I'm so old that I was actually the last year that people who passed their 11 plus, some of us were sent over to Sheerness Tech School. If anybody ever remembers that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Was the way to go of how old you were with the island was there a wall here?
Yes.
If there wasn't a wall, you're very old. If there was a wall, you're all right.
And you used to live on the island.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, moved off about 15 years ago, I think. Yeah.
I learnt to play on the island actually. In Sheppey.
One of our very first gigs was actually over at the Walden Bay Hotel, wasn't it? In the evening post talent competition.
I've still got the
blimey.
picture.
Yeah. We came,
You came second.
Did we come second or third? Something like that.
Second.
Second or third.
Second.
Was it? I can't remember.
I remember a picture of that was in the local rag at the time. That was a bit embarrassing. I think you've probably still got it.
I have got it.
Oh, blimey, it's amazing.
I can produce it.
Oh, no, don't.
For ransom.
So have you always been local, or have you ever played further afield?
As Buearu changed, we tended to sort of play more locally, but other bands we've played all over the place.
Would you
really.
want to play further afield within this band?
To be honest, I don't know.
We're off
we'll
down
play
the-
anywhere where if we think it's going to be a good gig.
We're off down Brighton way.
Yeah, we're playing down in East Sussex in a couple of weeks' time. But I think the thing is, it's if it's a good venue, it's it's worth going to it. But again, it's finding the pubs where a lot of venues, again, talking about original music, there's two sort of distinct differences in some of the pubs, in the respect that you've got pubs that just have bands on and people go out to have a beer, and if there's a band on,
You might get watched.
Yeah, but there's other pubs that are proper live venues that, when I say proper live venues, people go there because there's a band on.
Yeah.
Not because there happens to be a band on, sort of thing, and that does make a difference to the audiences you.
So a bit like what happens when, obviously I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but Homespun, the local Medway festival.
Oh right, yeah.
Where it's all basically unsigned bands that play. They're the type of venues where you're going out to see live music.
Yeah. That does make a difference to the audience and what you can get. Not so much get away with playing, but the audience. Well, when I say that, I mean in the respect that you can play your own material, because people are going there and
that's
with
what
an
they've come
open
to
mind,
see. Yeah,
with an open mind to listen to your songs. Doesn't matter what they are, whether it's folk, rock, heavy metal. They've come there because they like live music and they like seeing something different. Whereas pubs these days have got a tough job, so they have to put on bands that pull in the punters or make people stay once they're there, and so they have to be. They might be big music lovers, but they're also businesses.
Do you ever find yourselves getting asked for requests and you like really stupid requests and you're like, we're not playing that?
Well, we had one request, but fortunately we'd already played it.
The weirdest one was actually the last gig. The chap, it was the landlord of the pub. We just finished playing, and we do actually quite a good version of Purple Rain, and we completely finished playing. We'd done 2 encores, and he came up with a £50 note and said to us, "Will you play Purple Rain again?"
Well, we thought that's what we were getting for the night.
I didn't realise he meant that was just for one song.
Oh, you thought that was the payment?
Yeah. So no.
We didn't take the money, but
we did do the song again. Yeah.
Well, we'd run out. We'd actually done the bit where we get up and kind of pretend to go off stage, and you want another one, and sat down again, and we'd actually run out completely, hadn't we?
Yeah.
We were dry, and so it's fortunately.
But no, we haven't had really any silly requests, have we?
Well, I don't know. You won't let me play Postman Pat.
No, not anymore.
Why won't you let him play Postman Pat?
Yeah.
Well, because
Because
that'll just lead on to the Teletubbies song, and then it'll be on to what, the boys have got my daddy, and I'm afraid we have to draw a line somewhere.
You could play the Laughing Gnome though. I mean, that kind of fits in with what you want to
Get away
do.
with that one, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could. It's a funny song.
Yeah.
You could get away with it.
Just about.
So do you all have a favourite song to play live?
Don't encourage him.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have actually, haven't we? We have got a favourite song that we do. Yeah. and it was.
Well, you do.
It was a song when we first got back together as this incarnation that we've played first of all, which is called "Surrender" by Cheap Trick. And it was sort of. I think that was the thing that sort of helped us know that this time we it was. We always have a little jam every now and again, but when we actually started doing it, it sort of came together straight away, and I think it's sort of well,
we didn't know what was going to come out. We didn't know how this whole affair was going to work out, and it wasn't too tragic, and we kind of stuck at it, and it's a barrel of laughs, really, personally.
As I say, that's why it would make it difficult if we decided we wanted to get another member in, because we've known each other for so long now that it's sort of the little family bit, get them in.
Foibles.
And
it was like throwing our toys out of the pram, stamping our little feet.
Yeah.
Throwing tantrums as teenagers do.
It'll start again, won't it?
Yeah.
Never too old for a tantrum, I say.
In actual fact, it gets funnier the older you are.
Yes, I think that's a good.
Especially if you've got kids, because then your kids start looking at you.
Yes.
Like, why are you doing this? How do your families feel about you gigging so much? Does it tie in? Do they come? Do they support?
Well,
it kind of remains to be seen a little bit, doesn't it? Because it's not like we've done that many yet, is it?
No, I mean, I suppose because I'm in 3 bands, I sort of tend to be I know quite a bit, but
that'd be a good gauge, wouldn't it? See how many of your family members turn up for which
see how
band.
my family remember me by the end of the year. No, I mean, to be honest, I just love playing, so I'm quite happy going. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see my family, but I'm quite
careful what you're saying.
Yeah, I just enjoy playing. So and this I'm getting quite a buzz out of this, I suppose, because we're playing stuff that, even though we've been rehearsing it for a while, we haven't played it in front of audiences for too long. So it's all still sort of quite fresh and new. And it's quite a bit different to the other 2 bands I'm in as well. So it's sort of a nice sort of contrast.
Yeah. So you're going to play another song for us?
Yeah, should do the one off the sticks, the other one off the...
Do the other one off the stick?
Yeah. This other one this was one of the very, very first songs this is a cover. This is a David Gates song, a Bread David Gates song, called Guitar Man, and it was one of the very, 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 very first songs we actually learned.
We had a different singer, didn't we, first?
Yeah, actually, when we first did this, we had a different singer. So this this one's still. This is just a rough mix of this one, but we thought it's a really good song. It's a bit of a different version to the Bread version, but
well, again, I think it's more of perhaps a British version.
Yeah,
a British version of the American.
That's my excuse.
Yeah.
You can listen to it while you're drinking your tea and eating your crumpets.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, let's give it a play.
Just a crowd
Then the lights begin to flicker and the sound is getting dim. The voice begins to falter and the crowds are getting thin. But he never seems to notice, he's just got to find another place to pray.
There you go. See, that didn't sound like a demo.
No, hopefully it's not.
Hopefully you think it's done.
Well, no, it's not finished, but the tracks are recorded.
That was the first quick mix down for this release. It's full of olds, but it's a starting point.
Yeah, as I say, we've done quite a few tracks, but nothing's sort of finished off yet. As I say, we've sort of been taking our time doing it. But again, hopefully we'll have it out this year, or sometime this year.
Sometime maybe this year.
I've said it on the radio. I was going to commit them to this year, so that's giving them a lot more time than I'd normally give them. Yeah, so we did actually back in the day. Look, I'll show you this. It's a shame this is radio because you could see just how gorgeous we all used to look back in 1980.
Let's have a look. Oh, blimey.
This is a single.
Wow.
This isn't really working on radio, though, is
No,
it? No, but obviously we do have a Facebook page, so I can put the picture up. If I take a photo of that, that's going online. That's brilliant.
Well, I'd just like to say, as you can see, we had, on bass, we had Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Yes, we've actually interesting on that one. We've got all of us are singing on that one, aren't they? You sing a song, I sing a song, Les sings a song. There's quite an eclectic mix of songs on that.
Auto-tune would have added.
Is that how you're going to try and do like the new album covers? Is it going to be photos of you, or are you going to do something a bit more arty?
No, a bit more arty than that. I've come up with a working title for it, which I was explaining. Well, I explained it to Les today. The working title I've got at the moment is Residual Heat.
Okay.
Because it's a philosophical title in the respect that it's relating a match to how life is, in the respect that, or can be, you can light a match and light a cigarette and within seconds you've blown it out. It's only had a very short light. Or it can be you can light the match and you're trying to light, I don't know, a fire or something, and it'll burn right to the end. So it can be quite a long light. But even when it gets very near the end and the match actually has gone out, there's still some heat there. And the point being was the fact that we're getting so bloody old now, is the fact that we've got to the point where, where I don't mean to sound we're sort of past it or anything, but, you're getting to the stage where you're at the latter end of your working life, so to speak, but there's still some heat there, if you see what I mean. So that was my thought.
That is very deep for an album title.
It is for a...
Sorry if we just bored you all.
You're basically, what you're going to do is you're going to have to release that on vinyl just to put that meaning in.
No, I was sort of thinking, you do get sort of a lot of, people's lives when you look at sort of some of the, people's that like, you know, someone like Amy Winehouse, who's like, you know, her match, you know, it was only a very short before it got blown out, and you know, people like that, and it's sort of
Ian Curtis, his was even
all
shorter.
Those people, and you know, all those sort of people, but it's the fact that it was sort of like saying we're hopefully, you know, we're managing to have a nice long match life. But as I say, even when it's starting to blow out, there's still some heat there, sort of thing.
So your artwork's going to be a picture of a match?
Possibly.
Well, I'm filling up here.
Well, we had to have so deep and meaningful on this album, because otherwise...
Wake up, Leslie.
I mean, we've got some interesting... When we've got some sort of quite deep titles, we've got sort of... Even though it's quite a very poppy song, we've got another one called This Is The Way The World Ends. I Can't Live Here, which is about death.
See, this is where you have to put Postman Pat at the end, just to cheer everyone up.
Well, that's the other reason for doing Monster Mash at the end of the set, actually. You know.
We've depressed you all.
No, we're not we don't depress anybody when we're playing. Hopefully not, anyway. You know.
That you know of.
No, hopefully not. We're sort of trying to, you know, be entertaining as well. It's sort of... I can waffle quite a bit, as you've no doubt noticed, and but I haven't sworn. But that's the trouble live. I tend to more excited I get, and as the gig goes on, I tend to swear more and more, which is I nearly swore then, but I didn't. Well, actually, then that could lead us on. Now we've been talking about this single. We could do and death. We could do our other happy song.
It's not about death.
I could do. Yeah, well, this is one of the songs was actually on here. But it's even got the words. Look, we even actually printed the words off there.
Oh, look at this! We can all sing along.
The lyrics sheet there. This one's called hang on, I'm gonna actually have to look at it.
That's brilliant.
Excuse me, has it got the chords on here?
No. Yeah, this is actually when we've actually had this released. We used to have one of the big fans of ours was a chap called Michael Page, who owned the Shipping City Boom, and we used to play at his pub practically every month, and it was always a good gig because it was always full up, and he used to put it on he had it on the jukebox for us, so it was a little claim to fame, the fact we actually managed to get our single on a few jukeboxes in City Boom. But this was actually probably, if we'd had a hit from this EP, this would have probably been the song at the time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. It's called I Can't Live Here.
Okay, whenever you're ready. We'll cough up first. There we go.
I'm running out of friend in sight. No one to help me and I need the light. The streets are empty and the building's taller. I'm insignificant but I feel much smaller. Whoa, whoa, I can't live here. Whoa, whoa, I got to leave. The gun, the knife, the pill is calling. Somehow I think my death is near. I had a friend, a girl I knew. We made love and we talked to, but she lied and the lies that hurt me. Now when they smile I decline politely. Whoa, whoa, I can't live here. Whoa, whoa, I've got to leave. The gun, the knife, the pill is calling. Somehow I think my death is near. Oh, we're living in a dream. Nothing seems quite real. Reality is near. And I can't live here. I can't live here. I can't live here. I can't live here. I took a gun and I shot the man. Phase 1 in to plan. But when I turned him around to see, I saw his face, and the face was me. Whoa, 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 I can't live here. Whoa, whoa, I've got to leave. The gun, the knife, the pill is calling. Somehow I think my death is near. And oh, we're living in a dream. Nothing seems quite real. Reality is near. And I can't live here. I can't live here. I can't live here. I can't live here.
The tingly bit again. Do all your songs end like that?
Do it now.
Drummers only have one ending.
Ta-ting, ta-ting.
Oh God, here we go. You encouraged him too much. Don't. I think that's enough.
Brilliant.
Fortunately, he didn't sing with it as well.
Oh no, I forgot. That's my age. See?
Okay, well that's all the questions I had for you guys, unless you wanted to
right.
add anything else.
No, just come and see us at a venue near you very soon.
How can people find out where you're playing?
All the gigs are listed on our website, which is bueaudc.com, or on Facebook. Obviously, if you type in Buearu Change, I think we probably are the only group on there that's Buearu Change. I don't think Buearu Change has actually put up a Facebook page.
Yeah, it comes up. It's like I typed it in just to check, and it comes up with a lot of non-profit
Well, we're a
telling
non-profit
you
organisation.
the conversion rate. So if you can do that, that's great.
Yeah, we do a good exchange rate. You give us €1,
And we'll give you a song. Okay, did you want to play one more song, or we?
Yeah, well, we could do that one more song. We can do.
I'm very tired.
What song are you finishing on?
We're going to do our David Bowie tribute because I can't remember we said this on air earlier on, but we used to do stacks and stacks of David Bowie songs, and even though we was doing all American rock almost, we thought we've got to do a Bowie song once he died, but
Only because I would have had a tantrum.
if you hadn't. But
I'm not complaining. I'm a huge David Bowie fan.
Yeah, we would have to say we felt we had to do one because if we hadn't done a David Bowie song, we probably wouldn't have been together as a band back then if it hadn't been for David Bowie, because half our set, like I said, was David Bowie songs. But it was also influential. He was influential to how we sounded and everything, and just the way we were back then. The way we
bursting
were.
into the song again.
Yeah.
And obviously, just before you play the song, your gig is this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday afternoon at the Old House at Home. We're 5:30 till 8:30, hopefully it'll be a good afternoon. Yeah. Unusual playing early in the day, but it's Sunday, so at least we'll be having an early bar.
It'll still be dark.
Yeah,
it's
it'll be dark.
winter, so it'll still be dark.
Big time though, will I?
No, this one we're going to do. It's we thought again this was one of the very very earliest songs we ever learnt as a band, and actually I think it's the first song I learnt to play on guitar, and it's got the best chord in the world in it. It's got, as I've said, going play D suspended 4. It's just
That's the only chord I know.
it's a fantastic chord.
It's not.
So that's the other reason for playing it, because of the D suspended.
Really old hat.
It's got G in it as well, isn't it?
It's got G in
It's
it.
got G in it.
Yeah. So I
Ooh.
can play two. That's two.
It's
chords
got
I
D in it.
You can play 2 chords.
C, A minor, E minor, B
I'd hasten to
minor.
add, just for the people listening, he's the drummer, not anybody.
He's a keyboard player.
Okay, so whenever you guys are ready,
Right,
then
this
you
is
can
Ziggy
finish one out.
Stardust then. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Gilly and the Spiders from Mars. He played it left hand, but made it too far. Became a special man, then we were Ziggy's band. Ziggy really sang, screwed up eyes and screwed down hairdo, like some cat from Japan. He could lick 'em by smiling, he could leave 'em to hang. Came on so loaded, man, well hung and snow white tan. So where were the spiders while the fly tried to break our balls? With just a bit light to guide us, so we bitched about his plans, and should we crush his sweet hands? Ziggy played for time, jiving us that we were voodoo. The kid was just crass, he was the Naz with God-given ass. He took it all too far, but boy could he play guitar, making love with his ego. Ziggy sucked up into his mind like the leper Messiah. When the kids had killed the man, I had to break up the band. Oh yeah. Now Ziggy played guitar.
I could listen to that all day. Well, thank you for coming in, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us
Yes,
waffle.
thank you very much.
For over an hour.
Yes, we're quite good at waffling.
It's always the best. It's better than silence. After all, it is radio.
This is Sheppey FM, your station, your music,